and a very warm welcome to India Public Sector Symposium organized by Tech Observer magazine in association with global technology giant Citrix. I am Nisha Kumari, assistant editor of Tech Observer magazine. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you and your family are staying healthy and safe. As you know, the COVID 19 pandemic has created an unprecedented challenge for most of the sectors, and government and public sector organizations were no exception. But despite mammoth challenges posed by pandemics, we have seen huge acceleration of digital transformation agenda and repurposing of existing IT infrastructure by government departments across the country. The last two challenging years have also given a tremendous opportunity to government technology thought leadership to reimagine the way they deliver services to citizens and build IT infrastructure and implement projects in a digital first world. This is the key focus of today's symposium. Today, we will be joined by senior public sector leaders from across the country. Along with the host of other speakers, on behalf of Tech Observer magazine and Citrix, I would like to welcome you to the Indian Public Sector Symposium. Now, I would like to invite Sri Shripad Yashonayak, Honorable Union Minister of State for Tourism and Ports, Shipping and Waterways, to deliver his chief guest address. Over to you, sir.
Dignitaries who have joined for this conference, India Public Sector Symposium, Colonel A.K. Nath ji, Retired Director General, COAC, Dr. Nita Verma ji, DG NIG, Sri Parag Arora ji, Head of the India and Asia Citrix, and delegates joined from across the country. I am delighted to participate in this Indian Public Sector Symposium. I am glad to know that this conference is focusing on the role of technology and how it can improve the governance and life of the people in the country. I have been closely observing how the intervention of technologies under the various government schemes, including many initiatives taken by the tourism and the ports, shipping and waterways, are improving lives people. The kind of these initiatives, social and business outcomes that have been achieved due to the government's technology-led initiatives are exemplary. And we have seen how even during the pandemic, when everything was closed to follow the COVID guidelines, government organization used technology for business continuity, plan and deliver services to the citizen. Share the challenges faced by the tourism during the pandemic and how it is overcoming and how it is using the technology. Dear friends, India has always been at the forefront of leveraging the technology for development and governance. From software services hub, we are now becoming the research hub. Multinational organizations are recognizing the India's knowledge powers, and most of them have been second biggest research center in India after their home country. The progress made by the India under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai Modi ji in various areas, be it education, be it health, housing, information technology or infrastructure development, bears testimony to the commitment of our government towards improving the economy for ensuring that there is a general level of prosperity and sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas, sabka prayas. Through the creation of the right kind of policy regulations, better infrastructure and conducive social environment, India is now pioneering the efforts to improve the necessary infrastructure needed for the development. This is quite visible from the fact that over the past few years, there has been a huge growth in online service delivery. Dear friends, in the end, I would like to congratulate the organizer for organizing such an important symposium focused on the public sector. I hope you have great learning from today's program. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insightful view on how India is using technology for development and how during the pandemic technology ensure business continuity for public sector organizations. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Vinayak Gupta, ADG, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, Government of India, to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, Mr. Gupta.
Part of Indian Public Sector Symposium organized by Tech Observer magazine. I congratulate the organizers for initiating a very important conversation on building resilient and secure digital ecosystem. As you know, that the intervention of technology by various organizations, including government, has changed the life of people. In the government, CBIC has always been the front run in driving the technology-led initiative. As you must be aware that Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs is the apex body entrusted with the responsibility for administrating the tax laws and policy relating to customs, GST, central excise, and erstwhile service tax, as well as enforcement of narcotic-related laws. We have seen how even during the unprecedented nationwide lockdown due to the COVID pandemic, government organizations used technology for business continuity plan and delivered services to its citizens. Let me share our experience as to how we have enabled work from home for our officers for providing the continuity of services to their stakeholders. In fact, sensing the worldwide COVID spread and its severity, we in fact has already started our business continuity preparedness few days before actual announcement of lockdown. A new work from home policy was drafted for keeping in view of any such exigencies. The day lockdown was announced, as we are already having the policy framed, we immediately moved hardened AIOs to the residents of different IT staff supporting data center operation and various IT applications in order to support continuous availability of IT services. As the front-end IT applications available to trade, whether it be importer, exporter, taxpayer, or other stakeholders, were already available over internet, there was maintaining the continuity and access of these stakeholders was not a challenge. As CBIC deals with the critical data and critical and sensitive data of the taxpayer, prior to the COVID lockdown, access of backend application was only accessible to the officers over internet through office hardened devices. Due to the unprecedented lockdown, it became imperative for us not only to revisit the policy by providing the remote access of business applications to our officers, but also ensure that highest level of data security and privacy is not compromised. After marathon brainstorming session with my team over different alternatives, we implemented containerized secure solutions to provide access of about 20,000 CBIC GST officers pan-India through their private devices within 4 to 5 days post-lockdown. I feel proud to share that such large-scale implementation of remote access to access business critical applications by their officer within such a smaller time was in fact first among any government organization. CBIC digital journey in fact started from the year 1980s, and then we used Sperry Mapper system in 1986 in major custom house. First significant step forward for EDI based paperless work started in the year 1995 when Indian Customs EDI Systems ICS was launched at Delhi Air Cargo. Then in a phased manner, it was introduced at 35 customs major port and airport by 2026, which in fact accounted for almost 85 to 90% of total import and export volume. CBIC then launched also the risk-based management system in customs around 2005 for risk-based scrutiny of import consignment, which were subsequently extended to export. With fine-tuning of RMS, we have expedited clearance and subsequently reduced dwell time of import and export consignment. On the central excise side, a software package called Sermon was launched. The package was essentially designed to capture central excise revenue related information and develop a taxpayer database of registrant. In the year 2009, automation of central excise and service tax SS applications was launched. In fact, the IT consolidation we have started in the year 2008 when centralized applications were hosted at CBIC data center. With the introduction of landmark indirect tax reform in the form of GST in the year 2017, though the front end GST IT applications is being managed by the GSTN, the back-end GST IT systems involving assessment, audit of taxpayer returns, enforcement, refund, etc. are done by CBIC only. IceGate, in fact, is a front-end interface for import and export stakeholders for e-filing of import and export documents and tracking of their status. On introduction of e-Sanchit, an electronic interface between taxpayer and custom department to submit import and export related supporting document hassle-free and without any human intervention, and other such measures. In fact, the CBIC has helped in India ranking in ease of doing business in last few years. IT is being extensively used by the CBIC across country, leading to greater facilitation of the taxpayer and bringing tangible benefit in the tax administration. We have always been in the forefront of leveraging technology for development along with governance. We have been using artificial intelligence, machine learning to have advanced analytics in indirect tax administrations to generate better insight of taxpayer data received from different sources. Analytic tools help us in data mining, pattern recognition, network analysis, predictive analysis, text mining, 360-degree entity profiling. These technologies are powering CBIC officers to solve traditional problem. Number of cases of fake invoices and fraudulent GST credits had been booked pan-India by the officer. In fact, we need to harness digital technology to benefit people at large and improve tax compliances as well as tax administration efficiency. At the end, I would like to congratulate the organizers of this conference for hosting this important symposium focused on the role of technology for government organization.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta, for sharing your views on the importance of digital security and how CBIC ensured secure access to applications, remote desktops, and data during the pandemic. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Neeta Verma, DG, NIC, Government of India, to deliver her message for the conference.
Digital India program was launched in the year 2015 by our Honorable Prime Minister. This program was designed on three important vision areas: digital infrastructure for every citizen, digital services and governance on demand, and digital empowerment of citizens. Initiatives in each of these vision area by government as well as by private industry. If we talk of digital infrastructure, one of the most important thing we have witnessed is the broadband revolution in our country, with over 700 million broadband users in the country. Even on the fiber optic side also, lakhs of villages have been connected through fiber optic, and it is estimated that over 6 lakh villages will be connected to a fiber optic in next 2 years. We have also built world's largest digital identity program, Aadhaar, which has provided digital identity to every citizen and has also enabled them to avail services digitally. With unified payment interface, digital payments have taken another dimension. We have seen phenomenal growth in digital payments across length and breadth of the country, from big cities to small towns to even villages. And with the openness of unified payment interface has also given an innovation with a large number of apps and options available to citizens for making digital payments. Data centers, which are at the core of digital initiatives, have also seen tremendous growth in the country. At NIC, where we are responsible for establishing ICT infrastructure for the government, which spans across data centers, networks, video conferencing, messaging, and so on, we have also enhanced capacity in our existing data centers as well as built new data centers. As we are moving more towards digital and digital technologies are permeating deep in our lives, we are also seeing a rise of cyber threats. The threats are not only increasing, they are also becoming more and more sophisticated. Therefore, today, cybersecurity has to be intrinsic component of every digital initiative. Security operation centers are becoming an essential component of every digital infrastructure, be it networks or be it data centers. Rise of cloud computing industry in India has also provided immense benefits to not only government, private, to even startups, where you get infrastructure practically available on demand, you can scale it on demand, and as a result, it has given a huge efficiency in terms of launching various initiatives or new apps. It has also brought a whole lot of efficiency into the whole system and also made this whole initiative environment friendly and green, so to say. If we talk of digital services in the government, as NIC, as you know, we have been working with every government department in central government, with every state government, as well as every district administration. And we have worked closely in their digital transformation journey and helped them brought many services online. With all these technologies and with cloud available, lot of government programs have leveraged this technology and built nationwide digital platforms where their programs are completely digital from concept to commission. In a nutshell, I can say that all these initiatives with the induction of technology has given government the speed at which it can launch new initiatives, convenience to the citizens, lot of efficiency has seeped in, and it has also given agility because new interventions as well as any kind of a change in the policy can be quickly implemented. Citizens, we've also witnessed mobile revolution in our country, and we have particularly witnessed the prowess of this whole technology during COVID times. It became core of our conversation, our communication, our work from home, our education, or our healthcare. Everywhere, mobile has been the main device through which citizens have been communicating and availing digital services. Looking at this trend, we in the government have also adopted mobile first strategy, where any citizen service or any government program when brought digital has to have either an accompanying mobile app or the whole system has to be designed in a responsive manner so that it could be accessed across any device with the same convenience. During pandemic, we have also witnessed the use of technology in education, be it primary education or higher education, and also in healthcare through telemedicine, teleconsultation. So I'd like to close by saying that we are in exciting times with amazing technologies at our disposal. We can use these technologies to build applications which were not possible before. And there's so much to be done. So we, government, public, private, and civil society, all should work together to empower people at the bottom of pyramid with the power of technology. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting how Digital India is helping improve governance and public service delivery. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Pawan Kumar Joshi, DDG, NIC, Government of India, to deliver his keynote address. Over to you, Mr. Joshi.
To interact with you in this very timely organized symposium. As you know, the governments across the world are continually under pressure to deliver greater value to the citizens, businesses, and communities. Both human and financial resources are under new and increasing pressures due to varied demands from the citizens and businesses for enhanced services in every sector. These delivery-related challenges are further compounded by citizens demanding better and more accessible engagement with the governments, and their expectations are fueled by their simplified experiences with the private sector and social media platforms. Government agencies are under increasing pressures to transform their legacy systems and processes to deliver enhanced digital services to the citizens by utilizing latest technology innovations with a robust and secure framework. Journey of Government of India's digital transformation has been a story of effective use of digital technologies to fundamentally transform the way the public sector operates and delivers services to the citizens. As you know, the Digital India program was launched with the objective to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. The government have been taking advantage of the rapid advances in cloud and mobile computing, big data and analytics to transform its processes and services and strengthen government to citizen interactions. Number of government departments are working to step away from their old manual legacy processes and paper-based methods and are working towards a digital future enabled by technology. Digital India has touched upon nearly all aspects of our lives, ranging from work, travel, and communication to healthcare, education, and shopping. We surely see a shift towards citizen-oriented governance. Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile Trinity, or popularly known as JAM, has been instrumental in encouraging financial inclusion. Maze of offline infrastructure that was being used to reach the end beneficiaries has been replaced with JAM infrastructure to ensure rapid and leak-proof disbursement of funds and services to the citizens. COVID-19 pandemic has further sped the adoption of digital technologies by several years, and that many of these changes are here to stay. Response from the government and industry consisted of diverse measures, including use of advanced technologies, experimentation, and innovation during the crisis. The pandemic has transformed the core tenets of digital transformation and changed everything. How we worked, shopped, studied, entertained ourselves, got healthcare, engaged with government, and connected with friends and families. The government worked overtime in restoring the essential services by providing solutions on emergency basis to combat the COVID situation in the last 2 years. The story of Arogya Setu app, which is downloaded by around 20 crore Indians, is a stellar example of Digital India at its best. The government agencies, both at center and state, are increasingly putting the digital transformation at the front and center of their policy agendas. Governments are now devoting more attention to the emerging digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, IoT, and sensors. These technologies are helping not only in automating the processes but transforming them. Further, the adoption of cloud technology has really ensured that new services and solutions for the citizens can be launched in a short span of time. Governments are adopting software as a service and infrastructure as a service models instead of relying on on-premise solutions. Number of government agencies are now moving towards a contactless, cashless, paperless service mode. This is ensuring digital delivery of services, digital payments, digital e-KYC, and e-signing of documents using Aadhaar and emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. Just to share an example with you, number of state governments has now launched faceless services in transport through Vahan and Sarathi, where the user is not required to visit transport office to take various services like learner license, change of address, sale of their vehicle, renewal of driving license. In fact, in some states, the user is required to visit transport office to give a driving test and get vehicle fitness only. For all other services, they can avail sitting at their home. Here, we are using the capabilities of Aadhaar e-KYC, e-sign, digital payments, and AI-based face recognition to facilitate these services. Jeevan Praman is another example of citizen facilitation through advanced technology adoption, where AI-based face recognition has enabled citizens to submit life certificate from their home without visiting banks. As an e-governance solution provider to the government, we are witnessing an increased demand of digital solutions by the government agencies with a requirement of commissioning it in a very, very short span of time. NIC has been building e-governance solutions for socio-economic development of the country for decades. Our solutions span across almost every sector, such as health, education, agriculture, transport, finance to legislature and judiciary. We have also worked with state governments and built many IT solutions to support their initiatives. We provide underlying infrastructure like data centers, cloud, network to both central and state government departments. We manage 4 national data centers at Delhi, Bhubaneswar, Pune, and Hyderabad, along with National Government Cloud Meghraj. The NICNET provides network connectivity to the government offices across India. Over a period, we have also built several products and platforms for both the internal functioning of the government and service delivery for business and citizens. These product platforms are now being used by several government organizations across India. For instance, e-Office is one of our ready-to-use product which digitizes the functioning of any government office, where entire journey of a file become digital. E-Office is developed in open source and is today being used in 700 plus offices across central and state governments, generating over 25 million electronic files. In some states, the file moves digitally right from the district collector to the chief minister, and all decisions are recorded digitally. Similarly, the eHRMS and Manav Sampada are a product-based ICT solution for central state government organization for better management of personnel through electronic service records. Government departments do a lot of procurement. Our e-procurement product, Chapnik, support complete life cycle of the procurement process compliant with government rules and regulations. It is currently being used by the central, state government and public sector entities. Today, around 31 state governments and UTs are using our solution, and on an average, 1 lakh tenders are published on this platform every month. E-auction is another single comprehensive platform which caters to various kinds of auctions in India. Over 13 states and union territories are currently using e-auction, and more than 10,000 auctions have been published through this system. We have also developed Service Plus, which is a metadata-based e-service delivery framework built on low-code, no-code architecture. It is helping the government departments, especially states, to quickly launch their services online without writing a single line of code. 33 states in India have launched over 2,200 plus services through the Service Plus framework. E-transport platform developed by NIC offers connected transport services for vehicle registration, driving license, enforcement, taxation, permit, fitness, and related activities through multitude of applications. It has evolved as a public digital platform operating on the consolidated database of Vahan and Sarathi with upstream and downstream integration with a large number of internal and external stakeholders. Diverse services operate over this platform, including pollution certificate, VLTD, integrated road accident database, homologation, M-Parivahan, E-Way bill, and many more. The unified ecosystem comprises of fitment centers, automobiles and component manufacturers, car dealers, banks, insurance companies, POCC kiosks, transporters, private fitness centers, HSRP, FASTag, and security agencies like police, CCTNS, NCRB, NetGrid, along with e-district, CSCs, Umang, and DigiLockers. Number of states are now moving towards faceless services where the users are not required to visit RTO to avail services, as I discussed earlier. Some of the other large platforms built by NIC are One Nation, One Ration Card, eShram Portal, UDICE Plus, Manrega, Panchayati Raj, e-codes, rural development, Parivesh, PM Kisan, e-hospital, Swachh Bharat Mission, e-way bill, and many, many more. When considering digital transformation generally, security and compliance has to be at the top of the agenda. The challenges posed by cybersecurity and keeping citizen data safe and secure, both in transit across the network and at rest in data center, is becoming highly important. To run all these systems in secure manner, NIC has established Cyber Emergency Response Team, or CERT, which provides comprehensive security and incident response framework that integrates world-class security components and inbuilt threat intelligence for detection, prevention, and incident management. Using the tools, the team monitors and correlates events that help in generating a canvas of the attack surfaced and identify the vulnerabilities and possible exploits. It plays a critical role in securing the government IT infrastructure. Kavach application has been introduced for the users of NIC email services. It provides two-factor authentication, device mapping, and geofencing by creating permission-seeking prompts on the Kavach every time the government email is accessed. Security audit of web applications and websites, penetration testing, and vulnerability analysis, SSL compliance testing, version detections for application hosting environment with infrastructure compliance checks are also done as per user requirement. It is mandatory for all applications hosted in NIC data center to follow stringent security guidelines and best practices to get audited for security vulnerabilities. In pursuit for a secure and robust digital government, the government is focusing on various aspects like sensitizing the government employees at all levels, capacity building within the government, and putting cyber emergency preparedness framework for the government users. To conclude, we need to think government as a connected enterprise. The processes need to be aligned across all functions, including technology, talent, and governance to meet the citizen expectations. The future is about breaking down the silos and getting connected. The boundaries between front, middle, and back office are diminishing, unlocking the potential of real-time data integration in hyper-connected digital environment. National API Exchange platform of NIC provides single interface for end-to-end API lifecycle management to promote integration and collaboration among various stakeholders and systems. Fast and reliable connectivity has facilitated interactions between people, organizations, and machines, as and enabled the use of connected devices. While the world is trying to ascertain the severity of newly identified COVID-19 variant Omicron, demand for online information and services is set to increase. Government need to further strengthen the local economy and healthcare infrastructure. Work from home is here to stay. Global supply chain are becoming more localized. We need to build resilient digital systems that can endure this pandemic as well as the next to support 21st century India on its path for development. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views and letting us know that citizen demand for quality service has increased and it is leading to better utilization of digital platforms. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Vijay Jayaraman, Director, Pre-Sales System Engineering Citrix, to deliver his keynote address. Over to you, sir.
This audience and welcome all attendees to this symposium where we are speaking about how to build a secure and resilient platform for service delivery. My name is Vijay Jayaraman and I lead the system engineering function for Citrix in India. As a company, what has been core to us has been to get users to access applications securely and productively. And this is what we've been up to for the last 30 years. In the last 18 months or so, we've been put in the position to help companies and governments around the world to continue being productive, access applications, secure data, and provide services. Any service that runs on IT as a backbone to the delivery. Technology is playing an outsized role now more than any other time in the past in the functioning of the government and the public sector and governance in general, whether it is a delivery of e-office platform for employee workflows, communication requirements for close to 30 lakh employees, government employees, delivery of citizen services, public engagements using MyGov as a platform, even procurement using e-procurement marketplace or GEM, and Arogya Setu, of course, which has been driving our response to the pandemic in a data-driven manner. When we look at any of these services, it's been about digitization and it's been about applications. While the current times have forced most of the private sector to work from home, the public sector has been no different. While it's true that many of the state and the central government services needs employees to work from offices since they have to interface with the citizens. It is also true that hybrid work for the government employees is a reality, where they need access to the applications and the data, not only from their offices, but from anywhere. Empowering a mobile government workforce is key to reduce turnaround time for the services. And thirdly, as citizens and employees access applications, securing the access and securing the data becomes primary. No questions here. This is about protection from malwares, ransomwares, and bots crawling the external websites in search of data. This is also about how you control legitimate capabilities of the devices from where access is happening, like clipboards or a copy paste or the ability to print anything so that data does not get exfiltrated by these methods also. And technologies to ensure data doesn't ever leave the government premises or data centers when access happens. And there are enough security bells and whistles, auditability that one can put in place even as employees continue working from home or any other location. Some trends have been accelerated by the pandemic, accelerated shift towards services that run on cloud or auto-provisioned infrastructure. Our government departments and organizations have been a front runner with the use of shared multi-tenant infrastructure and software as a service delivered on Meghraj, the Government of India cloud hosted by NIC. What we are also seeing is increased adoption of digital workspaces that offer a single view of the work rather than users logging on to 15 different applications every day. And these workspaces can also provide ability to automate many transactional tasks using predicting user behavior using AI models. And you would have also seen this trend with the adoption of applications and workflows like e-office. Thirdly, security. Having thousands of users accessing applications that run on any cloud means security has to be excellent, data governance has to be tight. This is what we as Citrix do, ensure employees and users are productive and secure, and they're able to use and access their data. They have the flexibility to access their resources from anywhere, from any device, and at the same time be extremely secure. Accessing any resource using a common authentication and an access policy framework and policies, no matter where that particular resource exists, in an NIC cloud or in any of the government clouds in one of these hyperscaler provided cloud services. And we truly deliver on this story of anyiness. So many users and employees accessing different types of applications, published apps, web apps, software as a service hosted on NIC clouds. Some of the departmental data centers, data sources could be distributed from, and it can be accessed from devices that could be anything, right? From a mobile to a tablet to a laptop to a PC. And what makes this not so easy to solve is the complexity and the heterogeneity. Employee using different devices, working from different locations, accessing different applications. Now, this entire model is so distributed. Now, the left side of the slide is where how the work gets done, how and where the work gets done. And the right side of the slide is where the applications and the infrastructure resides. So the data and the metadata can lie everywhere in this realm. And when one looks at protecting these assets, one needs to look at it holistically and consider all of these scopes. Now, providing a great and a frictionless experience along with choice of how they want to work, on what device, and at the same time being able to provide security, right? And all of this works at odds with one another. Traditionally speaking, if you provide choice, you compromise on control and security. If you add security, you compromise on experience. And this is exactly the equation that we are trying to solve for our customers and deliver on this notion of anyiness and make it real. In a portfolio that spans the user side workspace, application delivery and security, and observability, we deliver use cases that secure access for employees, third-party contractors, and the users of the services. Also ensuring security of the applications themselves against web attacks, denial of services, and managing and mitigating bots that crawl the websites looking for data from forms. And also, as applications speak to each other when they deliver a common workflow from the user point of view, securing these inter-application communications or API interfaces so that applications work together on encrypted and authenticated channels when sharing data amongst themselves. The second area is about the resiliency of the applications and the resources themselves, managing high availability as applications run from multiple data centers, ensuring users are served with content and data that is delivered from the most responsive application cluster and one that is closest to the user. And lastly, it is also about knowing what is happening, right? As the users access applications at scale, how are they performing? What are the login time? What are the response time? And since we're talking of scale here, also being able to take automated actions based on user behavior and how they have behaved and what is their history of access. We are a 30-year-old company present in over 100 countries, servicing close to 500,000 customers. 99% of the Fortune 500 companies use Citrix to secure their access to applications and data. Even in India, most large banks, manufacturing companies, IT services companies have been Citrix users for a long time. And we've been fortunate to be in a space where we've been able to help many organizations get up and running in this pandemic. We lead the market for digital workspace and apps and desktop virtualization and application delivery and security in market share and in mind share both. Regulated environments where there is user data and intellectual property involved are especially big users of Citrix technology. And we are also heavily invested in India as a region. We continue to expand here with close to 20% of our workforce located in India. Bangalore is in fact our largest base after our headquarters in Florida. And it is our honor and privilege to help a digital Bharat reimagine secure delivery and resiliency of applications and data, also deliver modern workflows and generally help simplify adoption of services. With that, let me thank you again for your time in these sessions. I do hope you find it insightful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay, for giving an insightful presentation and explaining how digital workplace technology are becoming critical to ensure business continuity in the new normal. So, now it is time for a powerful panel discussion on the topic of building resilient and secure digital India to be moderated by Mr. Pankaj Khurana, partner, Government and Public Sector Consulting, EY. Over to you, Mr. Khurana. We will begin panel by 4 p.m. So, now it is time for a powerful panel discussion on the topic of building resilient and secure digital India, to be moderated by Mr. Pankaj Khurana, partner, Government and Public Sector Consulting, EY. Over to you, Mr. Khurana.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Pankaj Khurana. I'm partner with PwC and have been serving the government for past about more than 20 years now. First few years I have worked with the government itself and followed by a stint with Wipro and then with PwC for about 12 years. So, friends, as we know that last 1.5 years have been testing time for all of us working in the corporate or government along with the government organizations. I hope I am audible and we have everyone there on. Nisha, if you can just. Okay, great. So we have been going through a very testing time of COVID-19, which created very, unseen challenges for all of us. At the same time, it also gave us an opportunity to explore and do some more innovation in the technology through thought leadership, through bringing all the IT infrastructure, especially in government, together to address the growing need of technology for delivery of services or to work from home environment. So whatever investments corporates have made in the past few years, or the government has been investing all throughout this in last decade, came handy and proven worth in this time. And thanks to Digital India program, we could leverage the great connectivity available across locations. We could reach to Government could actually reach to far-flung areas for delivery of education or services or health services to people at large. So this could be made possible only because of available IT infrastructure, or I would rather say that the scalable IT infrastructure. While this has been, we could leverage the technology to the extent possible, it has also given us opportunity to relook at our technology investments, relook at the way we have been using data and the IT infrastructure available with us, and of course the security part of this. Because there was a lot of information which was flowing through these networks and applications, which would otherwise became a serious concern for government at times, keeping the security challenges in mind. So with this, I would request other panel members if they have any views to contribute here, and then we can start the discussion. Hi, Ashwani. There I can see Mr. Vijay joining, Mr. Dr. Saurabh Gupta. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Pankaj. Good to see you.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, Pankaj, and all other
Good evening,
members,
sir. How are
panelists.
you?
Good evening, Dr. Gupta. Good evening to everyone. How are
Good
you?
evening, sir.
All good, sir. All good.
So I hope I was audible and everyone was online while I was speaking.
Absolutely loud and clear, Pankaj.
Okay, sure.
Hi, Namaskar.
Good evening, Vijay sir.
Namaskar, Dr.
Namaskar,
Vijay.
sir.
Yeah, so Pankaj, just to resonate on what you just mentioned, pandemic has basically changed the way people are conceiving work, and especially around the fact that Citrix always used to say that work is not office, and that came true, fortunately or unfortunately last year. So there were several instances where the customers, like you said, had made the investments, and then they wanted to expand, application security and accessibility, for users working remotely. Initially, it was the step taken by the corporate, but very quickly, the government of India also, many departments came back to us on saying that how can we give remote access. And if you look at all the earlier speakers today, it was very evident that we are living in a application-led world, and everything, whatever, even Mr. Joshi mentioned, all the applications which are developed by NIC. So there is no running away from application-led world in the digital initiative, and everything else in the IT infrastructure is subservient to the application. So so your views are absolutely in view with the times. Whatever is happening in the current world, and Citrix has been working, like Vijay also mentioned in the previous speech, that Citrix has been working on the application delivery and security for over the last 3 decades.
Sure. So I think with this, this gives me a thought around how, because if I have to look at the fragmented infrastructure and the applications which are running across the country, what could be a better example than railways? So maybe I will have my first question with Mr. Vijay. I think let him finish his call and then we can. Or we can start with Golak from Passport Seva project. So Golak, if you were there and hearing all of us, my first question to you would be that we have seen that during this time, while the systems were fragmented and now they have come together and integrated platforms have been created in the country, especially while corporate has been doing it, and now the government has also, enabled integrated platforms especially during this pandemic. So I just wanted to understand that how have MEA been using technology to mitigate these challenges during pandemic time, and especially in view of you are delivering an important service that is passport, and especially in view of the e-passport is in the plan for in the year to come. So over to you, Golak.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pankaj. And let me at the outset also thanks Tech Observer to bring me here. I also greet all my co-panelists who are participating with this panel. Now, quickly coming back to the question, I'll pardon me if there is some issue with, because I'm joining over phone. I have just come back from a meeting, so I could not even arrange my laptop. So coming back to the the topic, Mr. Pankaj, when we are dealing with security, especially in Passport Seva program and ministry at large, I'll say, we have devised a mechanism that we call four-prong strategy. And these four-prong strategy typically the data strategy, the people strategy, the process strategy, and the compliance strategy. So these are the four-pronged approach which we have adapted in Passport Seva program at large also and ministry at large also. Now let me take one by one when we are approaching and adapting this four-pronged strategy. Now I'll start with the data strategy. When I say data strategy, typically what we have realized in Passport Seva program or in the ministry is most of the time there is a problem identifying your workload. Now, when I say identifying your workload, what kind of
Golak, I think you have gone mute.
hello?
Yeah, that's better now.
It's okay. So,
Yeah.
in terms of workload, especially what we have done is we are fully control of in terms of my data points. When I say in terms of data points, we fully understand what kind of data we are dealing with in terms of fiduciary data, in terms of public data, in terms of configurable data, in terms of personal data of the citizens. So, what I personally believe, Mr. Pankaj, saying that unless you have this kind of a detailed dive down, understanding your data sets well, understanding your workload well, and then accordingly devising which are the workload you asked me, especially during pandemic, because what we have also realized, because the Passport Seva program is now has gone global, all our Indian diaspora across the globe also accessing the same data center, same applications, and therefore some of my workload is hitting through cloud, some of my workload is access on-premises data centers. So the strategy of devising this kind of a data strategy is know which are the workload I should access remotely, which are the workload I should access on premises kind of an environment. So that is one of the mechanism which we have taken care very judiciously and carefully, and that is why probably, as I said, in spite of going global, in spite of having some of my workload into the cloud, I fully understand what kind of access, what kind of authorization, what kind of compliances, what kind of workload segregation, what kind of work culture I need to develop in terms of access and authorization, not only internal work culture, but also my stakeholders and also citizen at large. So that is the first prime important, which I personally believe all of the government department have to take this kind of approach, so that you have full control and holistic visibility of your data at large. The second is the people strategy. Now, the people strategy, as you all might be knowing, the Passport Seva program has gone ahead with a business model that we call PPP business model, where again we have kind of a segregated between sovereign and non-sovereign kind of a workload, where all sovereign workload is taken care by our government officials. However, non-sovereign workload is bestowed upon the service provider, and accordingly, we have devised the security layers, right from my data layers to OS layer to application layer to network and perimeter layers to my security operation center, network operation center. So that is another area, I think, in terms of skilling, reskilling your workforce, devising a mechanism, developing a work culture, developing a kind of a digital ethics, which probably I'll say Passport Seva we have achieved at least more than 90%. And that's why probably we are, again, as I said, when it comes to security, we are dealing it very kind of a holistically and judiciously. The third area I'll quickly touch upon the compliances, processes and compliances. Now this is another area where we again find a big miss. Let me quote a small example here. Recently, what we realized, saying that there are a lot of fake websites who they are posing themselves as if they are the authorized websites of government of India, and they started delivering kind of a, in the name of passport services, they are duping especially the illiterate masses, and people who are kind of a, do not have access to computer and internet, and they are going lending to a travel agent, and then lending it to these kind of a fake websites. Now, how do you deal this kind of a scenario? And I'm sure most of us, including railway and all, they have a lot of these kind of a fake websites and other things. Now, if you have such kind of a scenario, how do you deal them in terms of compliances, in terms of regulations, whatever where the land of laws available? And believe me, when I was trying to go away with these kind of a fake websites, none of the compliances, none of the land of the law available with us could help me to deal with them. And ultimately, I have to talk to Google, find out saying that why are you promoting this kind of a website as a paid ad service in the Google? And suppose you as a applicant, first you go and search for apply for online passport services, the Google will return to you with a hit saying that okay, this is the website which is coming in the form of a ad, and poor citizens or the illiterate mass, they get into it and get duped by the these kind of a travel agents and other fellows. So in such scenario, uh, how do you deal with your compliances, your regulations? Everything goes into a stack, and then you have to adapt a different approach altogether. And that's what I did. So the idea is, when you are dealing with security, especially when dealing with masses at large, this kind of a mammoth government services, this kind of a critical data, uh, As I said, the security has to be taken a holistic approach, right from data strategy to people strategy to process and compliance strategy. The other two very important thing before I end, always we take security. नो कोई भी बात नहीं, ऑडिट आएगा एंड आफ्टर ईयरली ऑडिट वो देख लेगा, नथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. I think security has to be dealt by design. It has to be intrinsic at each layer. When I say each layer, each segment of your network layer, infrastructure layer, application layer, whatever I name it, that has to be intrinsic to each of the layer. It has to be holistic, and it has to be end to end, and it has to be 24/7 real time. No, it can't be on a kind saying that audit wala aega and dekh lega. So that's how I end it, and that's how I put it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Golak. I think these are very pertinent questions, and especially around this fake websites to deliver or for issuance of passports have been a very, very prominent issue in the recent past, and we have seen this happening with railways and other government agencies also. So that brings me to our next question to Dr. Gupta. Sir, during this pandemic time, especially during this pandemic time, we have seen there have been rise in security breach incidences on government platforms, and especially whenever there is any special event happening, there is a security breach. Recently, we saw that Prime Minister's Tinder account, this Twitter account was hacked. It was on the day when he spoke about banning the cryptocurrency. So there was a statement which was made in the parliament, and the very next day his Twitter account was hacked. Do you see that government needs to invest more in capacity building and skill upliftment, not only of its officials, but not only of law enforcement agencies, but of its officials at large?
Good evening to everyone. I am just returning from after accepting my DSc degree in computer science and engineering from Lucknow. So I am on the way. So there might be a disconnection on the net. So kindly excuse me during that period. But I will try to get connected.
So
Well,
first of
friends,
all,
the
many
security is the
congratulations for
main
your.
concept. Basically,
So first of all, many congratulations for your
thanks a lot.
another doctor's degree.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Actually, you have put a very valid question. It's a cat and chicken, cat and chicken situation where technology is improving, the security lapses are also increasing. So we have to work very hard. And you were very right to say that there is a need of skill development in the area of security. As we know that in the present scenario, law enforcement agencies are also very prompt to find out the entire security lapses. However, they are also developing a lot of skilled manpower, not only from one domain, they are taking from various domains the people and the developers from the IT industry also. I tell you, there are certain organizations which are accepting the people from armed forces, Navy, Air Force, Army, and you say DRDO, any other organization such as NIC for the skill development, the skill related to IT industry. So it is not only the industry which need the people related to IT security only. It is the domain also which is very important. So I feel that the contribution of all and the development, skill development in the entire all areas is going to play a very important role for our security, for our security of the entire cyber security. Basically, I would also like to brief that in the present scenario, there are the government is also focusing through various programs the capacity building in the area of cyber security, and the government is also laying certain policies for this also. Not only this, you might also be knowing that recently the RBI has highlighted that cryptocurrency like Bitcoins, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, among there are various uh, these cryptocurrencies which are posing a lot of financial instability, and they are also putting various threats to our financial institutions. So right now, as you have rightly pointed out, that our honorable Prime Minister made the point in the Parliament, and they are really going to bring a uh, bill to prohibit it, all the cryptocurrency in India. But they are also putting that the government will facilitate a framework for creation of a complete official digital currency, which can be under the.
Yes,
Hello,
absolutely.
you are saying something?
Yes, you are audible, sir. No, I said your point is very valid. Saurabh sir?
Pankaj, I think he's dropped. Not able to hear him.
Okay, no problem. So I think we can move to next panelist. Mr. Vijay, my next question would be to you, because what could be a complex network or systems than Indian Railways? So in the current context, especially during this time, I think one of the key challenge has been enabling secure access to the applications, especially in this multi-platform environment, remote desktops, and access of data. How do you think that enabling access to data and tools from anywhere with embedded security is being provided or being enabled in the railways?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon to all my fellow panelists, and thanks Tech Observer for giving me this opportunity. Actually, the pandemic and its aftermath, and it is still going on. It has taught us a lot about how to work from anywhere. But in railways, despite being a large number of IT initiatives going on in railways also, our main work of providing services is more or less physical. So that cannot be done from anywhere. So those employees have to anyway go there and work. But for the people who are supporting them, that is the office workers and the people who are providing the IT services, for them it has been a learning experience, I will say, to tide through this pandemic times and continue to provide services and work. However, some part of the pandemic in the initial period, it was the services were curtailed, so there was not much pressure on us to provide people with all those services. But slowly and slowly, that is coming back. Now, coming to the initial questions which you have, because I was listening to that conversation as well, which is the integration and providing secure access to all of your employees. Integration is the need of the hour. So most of our internal applications are already integrated with each other, and we have to integrate with other applications as well, like the Arogya Setu and the Aadhaar and all that for a lot of authentication. But I will not go into those details at how do we do it and what are the challenges we face. They are the challenges of every government department when it tries to interface with each other, it faces anyway. And it will continue to face because somehow or the other, we do not build our systems in the proper API and sharing mode. Railways and in CRIS, we are taking a step forward where we have got a API gateway where all the applications will try to get integrated through the API gateway and then share with anyone within and outside as well. Coming to the security part, security is as everybody knows, is a PPT, not the display kind, the people, process, and technology. So we somehow put the technology in the front and then forget about the people and process. Uh, for a large organization like railways, which has close to half a million endpoints in terms of computer users at office, home, and anywhere else, it poses a very big challenge that these users keep on changing. So we need to train almost 7-8 lakh of our users to be adept at using applications and using them securely. So even our password policies, our access policies, they need to be taking care of the various level of employees we have. Not everybody is a computer savvy employee. So in that sense, what I feel is that in the capacity building part, I think the information security along with information science should be included in the curriculum, at least in the class 11 and 12th, where the children, I mean, now they are like my children only. So they should come at least basically prepared for what is coming into their job, whether it is an office job, whether it is a field job. They have to come prepared with some sort of cyber knowledge and cyber hygiene knowledge as well. I hope the new education policy will have such curriculum built into the class 11, 12th, because what we find is that when these even the polytechnic and ITI holders come into the system as a technicians and all, they have zero knowledge about the systems, how secure systems are supposed to be operated. They are very good at their mobile and they are very good at WhatsApp and Facebook and all that. They keep on doing it every day. But when it comes to a system where they are supposed to protect their identity, they are supposed to protect their OTP and all that, not share between themselves, it is there is a complete lack of awareness and knowledge as well. So I think it should percolate down. Now it's high time that we percolate it down to the schools and maybe intermediate classes, so that we get at least some what trained people here, where we need to give only the application specific training to them, and then they can be productive.
So very pertinent to this discussion, sir. Dr. Gupta was also mentioning about the same
Can I
thing.
add a few points to this?
Yes, sir, please.
Can I add a few points if you allow?
Yes, sir, please.
Actually, I just want to add that the security and the flexibility of extending services, they are two uh, different parts of conceiving a facility to be extended. Because if you want to create a completely secure environment, then you can say cut off everything from the entire world. Okay, but for this reason, but you have to extend the services to people in different area. So again, there is a security, you can say there can be security lapses. So we have to see that what level of flexibility to extend our services we have to meet. That's the important thing, and for that we have to have an graded access of the systems. So different people with different roles and privileges should have the access of facilities at different level. So level of security, the mitigation, that is a very important thing. We should play a role in that. Not only this, in the present scenario, the privacy is also a very important factor as far as we consider with the security. So privacy and security. I will give you an example. It can happen that using the homographic encryption or whatever way you say that the encrypted data may be sent in motion or at rest, and then data may be secured. The channels may be secured by various hardware mechanisms. So we can do that. There can be a mitigation policy, but when we extend these services, as we are saying right now, I am talking with on phone on the way. So we have scaled our access to this phone also, and this and you see that the network has extended up to this level that I am able to talk to you. I am participating in the conference. So we have to mitigate. We have to develop certain solutions to mitigate this kind of security lapses which may occur. So graded access to the information is the answer to that. That's which I thought I'll share with you. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much, sir. I think this is very important, Ashwini. That brings me to you, because what we are hearing is the government perspective and how the government is acting on some of the important capacity building, skills, data security, data accessibility, scalability issues. But from private sector point of view and the solution providers perspective in today's context with regards to application availability, security and scalability. So if you would like to throw some light that how can we help, or how can service providers like Citrix can help customers create multi-cloud hybrid application environments?
Yeah, absolutely, Pankaj. And I was just searching for a hand raise button somewhere that, it was all coming in the sweet spot for Citrix, whatever Mr. Vijay or Dr. Gupta just spoke about. Dr. Gupta was very clearly mentioning contextual access to information, which should be based on role. So anybody who's into a particular role should be able to see information only to his context. And Mr. Vijay also spoke about giving access across various platforms. And now, the way the railways ticketing is happening. Previously it used to be go to the counter and book there, and slowly it came on their own portal of IRCTC, and now you can practically book from any travel agent. So it's expanding rapidly. So application
Only if you're
access has
not
to be,
booking on the fake portal.
yeah, only if you're not booking on the fake portal, which is a menace any which ways. And we recently saw a very large vulnerability globally as well. So keeping that aside, if you look at the way Citrix has been, working over the 3 decades, and we are probably a unique company which focuses only on applications. Now, if you look at applications today. Previously, it used to be, hosted in your own data center. Today, we are, using applications which are hosted on web, which are SaaS applications, homegrown applications, monolith, and microservices applications. So there are various flavors application, and the users are also, they are not sitting in the office anymore. Like Dr. Gupta said that he's on the road, but still he's joined a conference. The BYOD is a reality today. So there are people who are using, applications for us. For example, you and me, we use it on our laptop. We go to the office, we use it on the desktop, and when we are, on mobile, we are accessing all our CRMs and internal and external applications on our mobile phones. So the world has moved from any device to any applications hosted at any platform, and access from anywhere in the world. Now you are accessing it also increases the security requirement which are there. And like Dr. Gupta very clearly said that, it has to be, and Golok also mentioned that it has to be end-to-end security, and they are basically talking about a secure access, secure edge kind of a platform, where it's a zero trust network access, where every component of the entire infrastructure is. I think somebody will have to go on mute. I'm hearing my own voice. No worries. Yeah. So I'll quickly conclude. Looking at the time. So these are all the aspects on which Citrix works very, very extensively. And we would be glad to meet some of the customers and present to them on how we can take these discussions forward, and really showcase the use cases to the customers on their live environments.
No, absolutely. And thank you very much for bringing this point over this discussion. I think what we have seen during this time is that the customer base has changed. While working in the government, it was largely how the government was delivering services. I think now it has moved from, instead of just the supply part, it has also moved to demand. So customer has also put, or the citizen has citizen at large has also put its demand very clearly of accessing the services from anywhere, especially during this pandemic time. So that brings to another important point, that during this time government organizations have invested in technology, and now there is a growing need of having agile and secure adoption of next level of technologies and delivery of services too. So my next question is to Mr. Amit. Sir, during this time, in the light of growing need of upgradation of technology and integration of various applications, various platforms spread across various departments, how are you focusing as a state to deliver services to citizens through one platform, instead of going to multiple platform, access them and then avail the services? How do we integrate it better so that this is a hassle-free service delivery, be it education, be it health, or be it general service delivery of any of its kind?
Thank you, Pankaj, and thank you, organizers, for bringing me into this important discussion which is happening all across. In fact, here I want to add up few things. I have listened most of the speakers, panelists, and I personally believe that this is very, very important to have a single platform. I fully endorse what actually is actually you have put through. I believe that this is the need of the hour. We need to actually have a single platform to offer government services rather than having things being done in silos. We have seen those UTs and those states who have already done it are actually living up to the expectations of the public, the citizens, and how easy it becomes for the citizens to deliver. That this is something which we must understand, that today is the era where you have to make things available at a single platform, and that platform definitely helps. And here I want to add on few things, like in JK, I am happy to share today morning only it got confirmed through Principal Secretary Industry and Commerce, like for ease of doing business and those platforms, we have integrated 126 services of different departments on a single platform, through which one can go through, and they are services of varied departments, like you were naming, be it education, be it health, be it any department which is offering public services directly. And in that context, you would see that more and more such models are evolving. Under SSDG also, we are offering services in time-bound manner, and in that already so many services have got enlisted. And here I want to add on, like we are working upon a lot of models in which we are doing certain things, like through Umang platform, we are offering services through, you see, especially those DBT model-based services where direct benefit transfer is happening. So we are working upon that thing, that we offer it directly to the public. And here I want to add on one thing, just giving services does not make a difference. Here people should also realize what actually government is doing, where public money is going, where every single penny being received in the government exchequer or lying with the government is going through. And after the advent of UT model in Jammu Kashmir, I must tell you that we have gone for very good works. In that context, I want to tell you, Pankaj, like we have gone in for a good thing through beams. The money goes for allocation to different ongoing projects, developmental projects at the grassroots level, project like to the budget estimation, allocation, and monitoring. This is what beams is all about. And in that, the major thing is giving a window to the public, empowerment of the public, Janta ki bhagidari. That's what we call it. Public can see through every single project, which is the feedback mechanism we have. we have a novel mechanism in which we can have feedback of the public. Suppose money is being put into project A, project B, project C. See, maybe a bridge is coming up somewhere, a road is coming, a hospital is coming up. First of all, they can have access even up to the village level. I'm saying up to the village level, not only up to block level or state upper level. Village level people can have an access and they can give a feedback. Not only PRIs, public representatives, but even for that matter, any person, any citizen can go there, put up the feedback. It reaches up to the top back again. And we are making systems accountable for every single penny being expended out of government exchequer. And if some valid suggestion comes, we incorporate that and make necessary changes. And right up to the LG level, top from the top. LG sir is monitoring, Chief Secretary sir is monitoring. We are taking reviews. We have online redressal mechanisms in which directly online grievances portal, and LG sir directly addresses public. I mean to say we have direct access to the villages. TVC model we have implemented in which villagers directly have access to secretariat, to LG office, to all the top offices, which was a distant dream earlier. So I personally believe that integrating services, and this is the model we are working upon. State data center is coming up a big way, upgraded model. We have got a 126 CR upgradation work going on by CTAC. So it is coming up in a month or so. So we are integrating all the services here, and we have also successfully launched e-office model. We have made all offices of civil secretariat paperless, both the civil secretariats in Jammu and Srinagar. You know, earlier there was a concept of Darbar mode. Now 12 months, both the secretariats are working. So it's a revolutionary step taken in JK, like secretariats are working, people are having access to public services, and we are bringing everything under a single umbrella. As I just told you, 126 services. Today morning, the good news flew. So that's what we are working in. Yes.
Many congratulations.
We will be doing such similar things.
As Dr. Gupta mentioned that time, I know we have just overshot by 1 minute, but just to conclude this, Dr. Gupta mentioned that as the technology revolution is taking place, so is the it's increasing the threat of the security also with the integration and the over accessibility of the systems. So I hope that you are taking care of such requirements on your network and your application level with respect to data or your systems.
Sure.
Integrating all of this.
In fact, we are taking utmost care. We are trying to implement all CERT guidelines. I have my CISO in place. They take care of every single thing which is flowing inside in JK. And not only that, we are making a state-of-the-art facility in the form of firewalls. All kinds of advisories are being flown to every single department whenever services are being launched. We try our level best, but today is the era in which you would see, just talk in the discussion only. The Twitter account of Honorable PM got hacked. So we are in an era when anything can happen, any kind of cyber attack or thing can happen, and we have to be mentally and technologically prepared.
So thank you very much, gentlemen, for
can I just add, if Pankaj, just give me a minute.
Please, sir,
I would like to just add one thing, that this threat perception of security is.
Sir, you have gone mute. Gupta,
Sorry,
sir, you have gone mute.
I am saying that the threat perception for every organization is different, and as far as security implementation a particular department has to put, different. So some certain other regions and some other organizations may have certain little less security concerns, and they can go with mitigation methods also. So I think it depends upon individual organization, and I can sum up this with a Hindi saying that अपनी मंजिल खुद तलाश कर, रास्ता औरों से पूछेगा तो भटक जाएगा, तेरी मंजिल की अहमियत जो तुम जानते हो और कोई न जान सकता है. अर्थात you have to see your organization.
Absolutely. So I think Sir has got disconnected again. So I was watching a series yesterday, and there was this lady asking his, bodyguard, कि मेरे लिए fake passport का इंतजाम कर दो. So I hope Kolak, you are taking care of your security at that level also, where people crossing the immigration counters. The validation process is in place along with the data security, along with the network security, data and information security is also taking equal importance. So here comes the end to this session, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining and sharing your views. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to all of you, and I hope that all of us gained some or the other knowledge from each other. So thank you very much, Nisha, for arranging this, and thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
everyone, for a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. Thank you.
At last, now, I would like to invite Sri Jaideep Singh, Director Public Sector Enterprise, Citrix, to deliver thank you note. Over to you, Mr. Jaideep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of the Citrix India Public Sector Symposium. It has been an honor to offer the closing remarks at the end of a fruitful and enlightening keynote address and panel discussion that had some top speakers from government organizations. The speeches and discussions which have been put forward have different ideas of building resilient and secure digital India, and we should work towards this. As keynote speakers and panelists mentioned, how the pandemic created an unprecedented challenge for most of the sectors, including government organizations, public sector organizations. But despite this new challenge, we have seen a huge acceleration of digital transformation and repurposing of the IT infrastructure by government departments across the country for ensuring business continuity and delivery of citizen services. We also witnessed how a secure delivery of applications and data from anywhere, anytime, became critical during the pandemic when most of us were working from home. Going forward, a hybrid model is here to stay. Therefore, we must put in place tools and technology that can empower government departments to deliver services on the go. All these speeches and presentations from today's program will be available online on the event website. Please feel free to revisit them at your convenience. I hope you had a wonderful and enlightening experience today. On behalf of Citrix and Tech Observer magazine, we thank you for being part of the India Public Sector Symposium. We look forward to hosting you again. Thank you.